Assalamu alaikum listeners, this is your RJ Afshar and we are back with another episode of Campus Roundup. आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में मौजूद हैं मशहूर ज़माना अली रजब खटक, जो किसी तारुफ के मोहताज नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी for formality, Ali Rajab Khatak, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, so my name is Ali Rajab Khatak and I'm pretty sure almost all of Zabist knows me for what I have done and what I am capable of. But to start things off, I come from a very humble background. I was born in Quetta, say it. And I was raised over there for the first 10 years of my life, and when I came to Karachi, things started to change. I got into debates, I got into extracurriculars, and I started doing a lot of things that, you know, gave me an experience, putting myself out there, making sure that, you know, I continue that learning process, which is something very important for every one of us, and I'll discuss that further into the podcast. असल में जब भी हम अपने आप को बाहर पे पुट करते हैं और सीखते हैं, ठीक है, it develops us in ways that you know, we can't even imagine when we haven't learned things. So that's what I started to do after I completed my A levels in 2016. I took 2 gap years, so a lot of self-discovery there, and I wasn't sure on what I wanted to do in life, okay? And I think if there's any listener who's currently in their high school, even first year of university, they would be confused to the same question, to the tone of the same question. They would be like, oh, I can relate to that. The thing is that self-discovery is a long process. आपको time लगता है अपने आप को जानने में, अपने आप को पहचानने में. One thing for the viewers is that I occasionally write poetry, right? It's a passion of mine. I like to ink out the thoughts as they come by, and one of my recent poetry is, and it's a very deep thought, and some food for thought there, that what if I can never solve the puzzle that is myself.
I like it.
So that part to self-discovery is never ending, but sooner or later with time you start to realize that you know, this is what I want to do in life. And 2 years on the path of self-discovery during my gap years, eventually someone says, you know, go to Zabis to do your undergrad, and I'm like, I want to go there. So yeah, because 2 gap years, all of your batchmates are your seniors now. It's a very, you know, like a very scary situation for a youngster to be in. So 2 years after my A levels, I end up at Zabist in my undergrad, and you know, I'm happy with myself for that decision, and I still thank myself, you know, thank my 18-year or 19-year-old self for making that decision, for coming here and exploring how beautiful life could be in you know, this place we call university.
So Khatak, as most of us know, you are from an army background. मतलब father and mother both have served in the forces. So why did you not go towards that side? Yeah, did you actually go over there, and then you shifted over? उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा.
So obviously my family wanted me to. मतलब your parents want the best for you, ठीक है? And they're human, so they don't know what's the best for you, but they want the best for you. तो as much as their knowledge is concerned, वो आपको पुश करते हैं उस तरफ जो आपको उनको लगता है कि हाँ बस सही है, मेरा बच्चा सेटल हो जाए, मेरा बच्चा खुश रहे. तो उन्होंने उस लाइफ की तरफ मुझे पुश किया, and it's a good life. मतलब serving your country, it's a good feeling, and there's numerous ways that one can serve the country. I'm serving my country right now in this capacity. They served the country in that capacity. तो उन्होंने मुझे उस तरफ पुश किया, क्योंकि वो एक चीज़ है ना जो आपको ज़िंदगी में सेल्फ सेटिस्फैक्शन भी देता है, stability भी देता है, and everything. So they did push me towards that direction. Of course, we're all different people, ठीक है? You can say कि मतलब in the oddest of places, सही है, you find the most different of things, ठीक है? Like for example, you can find a diamond in a coal mine, ठीक है? So not to say that that lifestyle is like gold, no, it's different, this is different, and you know, somehow it makes a beautiful diverse harmony together. So I did go in that direction initially. My parents pushed me towards it, but I knew that that I wanted something different out of life. I told them about it, they understood. I am really grateful for them to understand what I was going through at that time. and for believing in me and pushing me in the direction that I eventually went towards. So I am forever grateful to them for that particular thing.
So why did you choose BBA? ये particular degree क्यों choose की? कोई और option ज़हन में नहीं आया या इसमें interest था या maths अच्छी थी या इस तरह? Why?
So Afshar, the thing is के BBA was spur of the moment decision. ठीक है, and like I wanted to. So I wasn't sure of what I wanted to pursue. Like I saw myself as a lawyer. I saw myself as a social worker as well. I saw myself in a number of places. When you dream, the sky's the limit. There's no bounds to dreaming. Say one day you're dreaming to be a very successful businessman. The next day you're dreaming to be a very successful lawyer. The next day you're dreaming to be a national hero, right? So dreams don't have limits, and especially I consider myself a dreamer, right? I consider myself to be a person who has a very far-sighted vision. So when it came to deciding for BBA, I was like, अच्छा ये भी pursue कर सकते हैं, ये भी pursue कर सकते हैं. There's so many things that one can do, right? But I had a lot of variables. I had to make sure that okay, if things aren't well 4 years from now, I must be employable, right? But I do not want to set myself on a path that bounds me to a profession. So like for example, if I did engineering, it would have bounded me to a profession. If I would do, let's suppose, a BS in physics, it would bound me to a particular field or profession. I thought BBA is something that I could truly discover myself, because all they're teaching in BBA is how to be more polished, how to be more professional, how to interact with people and make connections with them in ways that enables you to push forward your business. But the skills taught in BBA aren't just for people working for big businesses or people owning big businesses. It's for everyone, right? So let's say they teach you communication, they teach you how to write an email, very simple things. They teach you in marketing, they teach you how to tap into a person's feelings, tap into a person's mind, seek what they want. And I think that is important for every profession. I mean, if a lawyer is able to do that, they build connections with their clients, they build connections within their legal fraternity. If anyone else from any other particular profession is able to make connections, it does benefit them greatly. That's why it's being taught in the BBA degree, because it's very important for business and it's very important for one personal self as well. So 4 years of BBA wasn't just 4 years of business education. I'd say it was 4 years of discovering myself, like on top of those 2 years of discovering myself, and I really did. BBA at Zabist opened me up to opportunities. I got the opportunity to work with the government on a massive scale plantation. I got the opportunity to work in the council. I got the opportunity to contest elections, and so on and so forth. I got the opportunity to do so many things that I hadn't thought I'd ever get. So yeah, but when I walked out of here 4 years later with a degree in hand, I was like, yes, I have achieved in the past 4 years. I've learned a lot, and as I said in the very beginning, learning, seekhna is very important. It's the most important thing, right? It's beautiful when you see a person learn something. Like just today when I was getting here to the studio, I saw a child ask his father, why does the car have indicators? And his father told him, इस वजह से indicators होते हैं गाड़ी में. It was a learning moment for that child. It was beautiful to experience because it was something that he did not know before. He was brave enough to ask and he got the answer, right? And that is going to stick with him for the rest of his life. It's very big if you think about it that way. So learning is a never-ending process. It's a beautiful process. It's a process that has made me what I am today. And I wish, and this is my sole prayer to God, that I get the chance to teach people, to enable them to learn every step of the way in my life. That is one thing that I never want to stop doing. Even if I'm fine if I stop making money. I'm fine if I, stop having friends or anything else. But I just want to be part of someone's learning adventure because that is something truly beautiful.
So Ali, we'll talk about your extracurriculars as well and your life here at Zabist. Tell us about the extracurriculars, societies, sports, debates, XYZ. कोई किसी चीज़ का आप हिस्सा रहे उसके बारे में ऑडियंस को बताएं.
So back when I started my time out at Zabist, आपके पास जो है ना, you had the option to go to any society and to make the most out of your talents there, right? You were allowed to be a director or a head of something in multiple societies. I don't know if it's the same today, but I think it did change. But the thing is, when I showed up, I joined a number of societies. I joined Zabman. It was my first society here in Zabist. I signed up for it the moment I had my orientation done and my courses registered and whatnot. So that was the first society that I joined. The rest I joined later at the society's fair. So Zabman was particularly because I had been to Zabman before I was here at Zabist. Zabman was my image of Zabist. It was the society, the event that actually instilled everything in my head that made me go like, oh, I want to be a part of Zabist at the end, as I told you just moments ago. So I became 80 publications in Zabman. It was very competitive. Like, it was very competitive. You, being a new student especially, you have to prove yourself to be given a particular thing, and I really had to prove myself and set myself apart from the crowd to get that position. And I am honored that Zabban Society of that time, that era, gave me that position. And then I was a part of the debating society. I was head of the debate team there, going to parliamentary debate competitions, etc., etc. I was also part of the literary society, given my love for poetry and literature. So I was head of the book club in the literary society. And I remember 4 years ago, I would have this book club of and it wasn't just a book club, it was a circle of amazing friends. It was we talk about books, we'd be there in meetings, but then we would be hanging out other than books as well. So it was amazing. My first year in Zabist was I'd say the best I could have had over here. And then also I was part of the culture society as well, as a director HR. But again, the societies that remain the highlight of my first year at Zabist were Zabban and literary, because through one I got the you could say the rewards for my merit and the ability to work in one of Zabist's largest society of the time, and in the other I made amazing friends. So yes, it was amazing. It was a great learning experience, I could say. Zabist has amazing curriculum and everything, and the classes are amazing, the teachers are amazing, but learning outside the classroom, it really changes the person. So you can never learn those things inside the classroom. You can never learn the things that you learn inside the classroom outside it.
So these are a lot of societies that you've been a part of throughout the 4 years. So do you remember someone, maybe a president, maybe your general secretary, जिसको देख के ऐसा लगा हो कि यार this guy is doing a great job, maybe in the next upcoming years of my life here at Zabist I want to be this person, yeah, I want that position particularly, yeah, you learned, yeah, after looking at them you were motivated कि यार this is good, this is what I want my juniors to see when they see me at some point.
Well, I always wanted my juniors, whoever they were, to learn. Of course, COVID put a very huge barrier in between that goal, because we didn't really get to interact with our juniors. One semester, like people who were freshmen when I was my sophomore year, those people we spent one semester with them, and then COVID came along. And then people who were freshmen when we were junior year students, third year students, those also came around in COVID times, and I practically got a chance to mentor people in the final semester. If you say that if there was a person that I really looked up to, you could say that there was this one person, Amtul Noor, and I saw her when she was heading the literary society. I was head for her book club, and I thought to myself, right, this person, she's good-hearted, she really wants to do something for the students. I think that she should be president of the student body, and I am honored and I'm glad in fact that I helped her towards the presidency, right? That could be said for only 2 people in Zabist whom I helped towards presidency. So yes, she was an exceptional example for the people who served under her, right? The student government after that, I was a part of it, and yes, a lot of them implemented a lot of things Amtul taught them, right? Because when we became part of the council, a lot of things changed. So when we became a part of the council, it was a complete reshuffle. Our council was the freshest council you could have found in Zabist. No old members, like absolutely next to no new, like everyone was new. Everyone was in the council for the first time, be it the secretaries, be it the people in the executive body, be it the council of common interests. Everyone was in the council for the very first time. So we all were learning together and discovering things together, and piecing together everything. Okay, this is how we make student government work. Surprisingly, it was also the most challenging time to be a part of the council as well.
The part in the council?
Yes.
Okay.
It was challenging for everyone. So I'll tell you how. Because not only were we new, completely new, 6-7 months into our tenure, we got COVID. Right? And during COVID, we had to be this bridge between the students and the administration, the faculty. Everyone was online, everything was online, and there was so much confusion. And I think that is the point of time where the council proved itself to be, it's okay, the council is worth it, right? Because the council is helping admin with everything. They're helping the admin manage students. They're helping the admin reach out to students. They're being that bridge of communication between the admin and the students, very essential in any university, right? Because I have been a part of MUNs, right? And that has allowed me to, visit every particular university. So I have been to IOBM, I have been to government universities, private universities, all kinds of universities. And I see that whichever university has the student government thing going for itself, it's actually very easy for their students, for the students of that particular university to reach out to the admin compared to other universities that don't adopt that model. For them, it's very difficult for students to reach out, especially if they don't have much relevance when it comes to the social structures within the university. So I think that the SSC, a very new SSC, a very fresh SSC, a learning SSC, proved its mettle during those tough COVID times in 2020. And to no one's surprise, every one of the people that were in the council are amazing at what they do today, right? So that council, that 2020 council produced 2 SSC presidents, right? It produced Rebecca, it produced Shazeb, right? It produced vice presidents. It produced Shazeb again and Mustafiz Qurai. Amazing people to work with. It also produced, those leaders that, people in Zabist looked up to. And then these people eventually became the mentors for today's council. So I think there's a reflection of that Amtul tenure in even today's council. There's the same learning. Now we have that cycle of teaching and learning going on, which is, I'd say it's good and great for every organization.
So the council is, I guess, a huge part of your life here at Zabist, I'd say. So let's talk about the council. What attracted you to the council in the first place, and how was the journey and how it ended up in the when you were graduating? Ali, let's start by telling us what attracted you to the student council in the first place. Why did you think, I want to be a part of this body as well, even though you were a part of so many societies और अच्छी positions के ऊपर, directors की position के ऊपर, then why student council?
So societies were a learning experience, right? And as I said before, one should put themselves out there to learn things. So the council decision was pretty much the same, right? So the first time I entered Zabist, the orientation, and I see these people in very smart looking uniforms running around here, and they're managing freshman students, and I'm like, okay, these people look like the cream of Zabist. These people look like very interesting people. They're at the top of their game and everything. So I think that was the first step of my inspiration towards the council. And then pretty much all my life I've had this dream of leading people, right? So the moment I enter Zabist, I'm class representative, and the only next logical step is program representative. And I'm like, okay, if Zabist is giving me the opportunity to contest elections, then
So you contested for your program.
yes.
And how did that go?
Okay, so this is one of the tales of how Ali Rajab Khattak is. There's that song, right? And saying कि हार के जीतने वाला भी बाजीगर, ठीक है. So the thing is, I was contesting against Shazib Faisal, right? We were both from second year BBA, right? And the thing is that after Shazib won that election, I remember just before the voting count came out, I had this very big smile on my face because I was somewhat sure that I'm going to lose. Okay. And Shazib had this very tense look on its face. It's a very historical picture. I'll share that with you if I get the chance. So, amazing. It's a lovely picture, right? And that is how it was. That is how he felt. Immediately afterwards, after he won the election, I was like, okay, so yeah, take it. It's democracy, right? And people chose their representative. But then, turns out the third year position is vacant because no one from that decided to contest the election, and the student affairs is like, oh, here you go, there's your BBA representation.
Okay, so you were the BBA representative as well as Shazib?
Yes, both of us were BBA representatives.
Okay.
And funnily enough, we both turned out to be on the same position. It was something for people to gossip about. But then again, Shazib and I really complemented each other. Our competition was healthy. Good competition actually pushes you to be better, pushes you to be, at your best when it comes to everything. And that is how I would describe the competition between Shazib and myself. Like, we wanted to be better than each other, but we ended up making things better for everyone else.
And then I guess COVID came.
Yes.
After that, so COVID was for 2 years, I guess.
Yes.
दो tenures गए होंगे council के उसके
yes.
अंदर.
So-
Next tenure, उसके अंदर what was your role?
I was secretary coordination, right?
Okay.
And as secretary coordination, I would be handling everything because online tha when I started out, ठीक है? And we had our social media running and everything, and I had to be there for the council. We had this. We were posting. We were trying to engage students. I mean, everyone was at home, right? It wasn't the best of times for our mental health because we're all social animals. We love being around people. We love talking to people, knowing people and everything. So being locked up at our homes wasn't pretty for anyone, right? So what we try to do is we try to engage the students. We try to remind them, alright, you're still studying in a university. This is not online courses that you are taking from any place. This is a university. So we tried to make that thing happen, and we worked with our societies. I mean, I remember Performing Arts put out this great series of shows online, and Social Sciences Society put out podcasts discussing student problems and whatnot. And even us at the SSC, we tried to keep the students engaged, keep them believing that they're still university students. And towards the end of that tenure, I was still secretary coordination when we restarted. And when Zabist reopened, it was a shocker because we had gotten used to that life at home, right? We were not used to being out in the heat, in the sun, physically exerting ourselves, getting tired and all. So it was challenging for the council to return to the physical business as well. So I remember we were only able to organize one particular event as far as I was secretary coordination. That was the it was the match screening. Cherry on
Match
top of the
screening.
cake, yeah. Cherry on the
And you won that match, right?
Yes, Pakistan won that match. It was cherry on top of the cake, honestly, because we had put a lot of effort into, because this was the restart. This was the back to school thing, and if it would have anything would have gone wrong, trust me, events at Zabist wouldn't have been the same as they are today, because even if it's the council, even if it's the student government, it's an entity that markets its event. It needs to have that value recognition in the eyes of the student. And that particular math screening, it did, revive that, okay, so the council is still there, events are still happening at Zabest, everything is, going back to normal. So that was my time as secretary coordination. Then after that, I took a little break from the council, right? I went on, headed a society, wanted to do my own thing, and funnily enough, I'll tell you more about it, but it was a very interesting journey, that final year of mine.
Your fourth year,
Yes,
last year at
yes.
Zabest. So why did you not try to contest for an EB position?
I did. Unfortunately, the position that I was going for was a position that is, usually secured by someone who has majored in finance or pursues a finance.
The treasurer position. For the
Yes.
general public who do not know how the council works, थोड़ा सा summarize करके what is a treasurer and why are they selected not elected, उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा public
So
को बताओ.
the treasurer is a position of utmost responsibility, right? It is the epitome of responsibility in the council. Yes, the president is the figurehead of the council and everything, but it's the treasurer who the admin trusts and who the student body trusts, and it is that particular position that carries the most level of trust when it comes to day-to-day activities of the council, right? And the thing is as much as we get into the spiritual philosophical debate, it's money that makes the world go round, right? So a good treasurer can actually cut those costs and make everything more efficient when it comes to costs, making the council work in a way that is that gives more value to the student at the end of the day. So that is what I wanted for myself, that is what I saw for myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take on that position. But other than that, I went on a path that was not of my choice, but it was a path that led me to a lot more learning and really polished the leader within me. So I took hold of the debating society, right? And as a part of the debating society, it was one of the smallest societies in Zabest. So the moment I joined debating society, it was the only open opportunity for me, and of course it wouldn't have been socially okay for the council to not give me anything at all, right? So they made me president of the debating society. I was the sole member of that society, the one single member.
No other EB?
No, not even the general secretary. I was the
Okay.
chairperson for that society, and I remember I sat down in 100 cafeteria with a laptop in front of me. I'm designing the poster myself for EC interviews, and I launched the interviews, and I'm the only person taking the interviews, right? And I am literally hiring as I am interviewing, right? And I took a very laid back approach to interviewing people. I would interview people in the smoking area. I would interview people in the cafeteria. I would want them to be chill so that they could actually show themselves to be, at the most potential, at the highest potential that they would have, right? So that is the approach I took to, interview this EC of mine, because if I was leading the society, they were leading the general body of the society. So I selected my general secretary out of one of those EC interviews as well, and then we had one of the largest ECs in the council, in the student societies, right? The largest EC, all thanks to the VP of the time, Mustafiz Kurai, right? Amazing person. I remember him telling it, छोटी नहीं हो सकती, ये काट नहीं सकते, कुछ लोगों नहीं ये बच्चे अच्छे हैं, they've come to me, इनको रखना है.
So, but still, Ali, a lot of us know that you were still a part of the council. So how did that come to be? What role did you play as that position which was given to you by Ms. Hareem, our student affair advisor, and how would you sum up that part of your life?
Okay, so when we started out with the debating society, as I told you, it was very small. Then it grew to be one of the largest societies in Zabest. All because of the learning that I had made while being in secretary coordination. I made a launch video for SDS, and I'll share that with you too as well, right? And the thing is, making that society very big was a testament to my skill that I could really lead students to, the goals that I set out to achieve, right? And well, that is what happened. And as time went on, the debating society, we had an amazing debate team. It would go out, wins awards for Zabist, and come back. And we had a couple of good events as well, well organized events. So one of the flagship things in Zabist was a lead convention, right? And the thing is, lead convention was something that was forgotten, so to speak, because of COVID, right? And it was something that needed to be restored so that we could finally say, okay, COVID is over and we're back to normal, right? And the thing is that there were very few people in Zabist at the time in 2022 who had actually experienced lead, right? All the organizers who had people who had organized lead, they were graduated, right? And I remember back when I was BBA representative and Shahzeb was BBA representative, that we were a part of this very small lead core team, right, in the council. So we were the people who actually knew how to, do this event and how to carry it forward. And the thing is, at first the Student Affairs Committee, like the Office of Student Support Services, they appointed me to, do lead, to become the lead for lead, and take the charge and have a team that organizes the flagship event of Zabist, right? So they put me in charge of that. But then there were certain things that happened, certain realities, and it is a very complex system, student government and student affairs and student support services, right? And due to those complications and certain complications, the council wasn't as motivated as I should say ideally should be, right? And they all needed a break from all of this. So a lot of my peers, people that I had worked with, right? So they thought of like taking a break from everything. I was a very sad moment to see the body that I had served and been a part of for so long. Was part of my identity at Zabist. It was really sad. Those moments when the old people from the council, they were leaving. It was a very sad moment, so to speak. And some of the most amazing people I've worked with were I would no longer be able to work with them, right? As I mentioned, Mustafiz, Shahzeb, Amna, and all, right? So after they departed from the council and went on their break, there was still things that needed to be done, right? There was still the lead convention that was remaining. There was a grad week that was remaining, right? It was my graduating year, my own grad week that was remaining, right? And I believed that it's whatever the complication is, right? It's not the fault of the general student, right? So why should they suffer for complications that arose, at a higher level, right? So I thought to myself, okay. And I went to the Student Affairs Advisor, Ma'am Areem Siddiqui, and I talked to her about how we can actually, build something up from whatever remains and we still deliver whatever we promised at the beginning of the tenure. So in essence, I succeeded Shahzeb, and I kept myself on the same mission. So Shahzeb and I were doing the same thing, right? He was doing it in his own way, and it was pretty spectacular. We had an amazing beach, we had an amazing concert, and then I did it in my own way. So the two most deserving people in Zabist from the class of 2022 actually got their run of the mill, and it's something beautiful. We both got a chance
to do
situation.
Things.
It was a win-win situation. He got to be president, I got to be special advisor, and the thing is, we both learned from one another. And we both mentored the people that are running the council today. So the kids that are running the council today, right? They've learned from Shahzeb, they've learned from me, and we both, I could say, were the cream of Zabist. So I think you have like the best combination of people running things here at Zabist today, be it the council, be it Zab FM, be it what's the name of the conference, or the computer sciences and mechatronics
ACM?
No, the
E-Fest?
Yes, the E-Fest. So amazing people running everything in Zabist. I have high hopes for these people because they've learned from both me and Shahzeb.
So Ali, great beach, great events for Shahzeb bhai's tenure, and great Kawali, great graduate, a very successful lead convention, and now you have graduated from Zabist. So how is your life now? We know that you are pursuing your masters.
Yes.
So tell us about that as well, and then end with an advice to your juniors who are in BBA, yeah, coming to Zabist, or juniors who are planning to join the council or who are serving the council right now as well. उनके बारे में उनको थोड़ी सी advice दें, and then we'll wind up.
Okay, so first of all, Afshar, I'm pursuing my Masters of Sciences from IBA. Right? I'm a part of student affairs and student activities over there as well. I think it's an addiction at this point, right? So I'm a part of the Public Speaking Society. I have joined a student lobby over there, and they all love me. They love me so much. In fact, that I was contesting the election 2 weeks into my time at IBA. Like 2 weeks being a student of IBA, I was put up as a candidate for election over there, and of course, no one can win on 2 weeks worth of PR. But the thing is, it was an amazing experience in and of itself. So I'm part of student activities over there as well, and the master's degree, it's something now that I have discovered myself. It's something that I actually want to pursue, so I'm enjoying every moment of it, right? And again, IBA is an amazing institute, but it doesn't come up to Zabist, in fact, because Zabist has 4 years worth of learning, right? So in my life, Zabist has more value than IBA at the moment, right? We never know for the future, but yes, life is good, and life is good because Zabist made me what I am. My advice to my juniors is, I have 2 little pieces of advice, and these are very important. So first of all, know that everything you do should have a purpose, right? Nothing you do should be purposeless, right? If you want to be a part of the council, if you want to be a part of the society, if you want to lead a society, you should have a purpose. Why do I say that? Because when you have a purpose, you have something motivating you constantly, and you can transfer that motivation into other people once you assume those leadership positions, right? Whether you're a director or an assistant director in a society, or whether you are like the president of the student body itself, or even if you're just your class's representative, you should have a purpose that really defines the good outcome for everyone under you, or everyone that that has faith in you. Even when you're a CR, your class has faith in you. You should never let them down, and your purpose should be to serve them. So everything should carry a relevant and a good purpose. Now, coming to the second piece of advice, never stop learning. Learning is a never-ending process. I would tell this to you 40 years from now. A 60-year-old Ali Rajab Khattak would say the same thing. I'm still learning, right? So a lot of people, so I do MUNs, I chair MUNs, I mentor people for debates. The undergraduates of IBA look up to me as a master student, someone who's achieved something in life, and I tell them I'm still learning, right? They look up to me as an example, but I tell them I'm still learning, and you should do the same. Because something that really ruins us is pride. We should never have pride. Once we have pride, we stop learning, right? So we should stay humble, we should stay learning, and it will make us better people, more polished people, more fun people to hang out with, and a good influence on everyone else.
So Ali, I love you, man. You've been a great friend to me. You still are, and I wish you best of luck for all of your future endeavors. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Welcome to Zab FM, and that is it for today's episode.